apologize for that. I was just ensuring that my light was working. It seems like I am light right now.
You want to find yourselves.
So I'm gonna jump back in and we're gonna get this flight going. Okay, JFK, we're at gate 257. Copy paste my position, and our heading is at 345 degrees. Now we're gonna do our route, which is Kilo Juliet Foxtrot Kilo, which is the JFK's airport code. Sometimes it does take a bit of time for it to mention. Okay, next is to put in the destination, which is Charlie Yankee Uniform Lima, which is CYUO, Montreal School. There we go, and now we're going to put in our waypoints. There's only two, which is Albany International Airport's waypoint and Plattsburgh International Airport's waypoint. So Albany is Kilo Alpha Lima Bravo. Recognized. And the airport code for Plattsburgh is Kilo Papa Bravo Golf, KPBG. There we go, activate, execute, go to performance, cruising altitude 250. The reserve tanks is 10.3 tons of gas. Cost index is always at 29. Take off at 10-degree flaps. And there we go, we're all set there. And now we're gonna just set the lights here and then we're gonna get cracking. Start pumping the engines in a moment. Send display brightness lights. That's done. We'll go on the white lights over here. And all my lights are on. Perfect. Hey Stephanie, how are you doing today? Alright, so now that all my lights are starting to turn on, the next step to do is turn on the generator. Now, on a Boeing 747, the generator, like any other aircraft, is always in the tail of the plane. This little hole right here. So I'm going to show you guys in a moment how to get the generators powered on so we can start pumping our engines. I just want to ensure first that all my lights are on, as well as the heating and the anti-ice lights. No matter where in the world I am, I always have these on because weather is always unpredictable. Mother Nature likes to be a troll and play with us. So the engine bleeds are on. All my other lights are on. Perfect. beacon light's very important, so that way ground crew knows that we're ready for takeoff. Alright, so now to turn on the APU, next to the battery indicators of the APU switch, turn this dongle on start, and in about a minute or two, the engine in the back is going to start turning on. As you can see, there's a white light blinking. That's the power alert. Light is a bit glitchy. Okay, this is really out of my control. I'm going to try my best. Maybe it's my Wi-Fi being a pain in the ass. I'm going to try okay, my light is reconnected. So now that my APU is on, as you can see, there's two lights over here. APU generators 1 and 2. I just flipped those on because now we are depending on the generator and not on ground power. But obviously we still have to keep the battery on. You turn the battery off, your plane's going to turn off, and if you're up in the air, well, let's just say that you're screwed. So now that that's on, we're going to start pumping our engines. And in this Boeing 747, we always start from the fourth engine down to engine number 1. So I'm going to turn on the fuel pumps of engine 4, turn on the starter dongle, pull it outwards, and over here it shows 0.2 on our N1 fuel, sometimes 0.3. We're just going to flip this knob on to start mixing our fuel for engine number 4. Okay, I do apologize because where I'm parked, I can't give you a good view of the turbines of the propellers moving. So as you can see, it's turning there, and now we have to wait till the percentage power is at about 20 to 22 degrees for each one. And once the engine 4 is on, we're going to do engines 3, 2, and 1, and then I'm going to tell the tower that I'm ready for takeoff. So I'm going to set my flaps on to 10 degrees. Alright, so engine 3 is fired. Now we're going to fire engine 4 is fired. Now we're going to fire engine 3. Turn the pumps on for engine 3. Pull the dongle out to start. And we're going to turn the knob on for fuel mixture and engine starters. So you can see the propeller of engine number 3 is starting to turn. Now, for some of you asking me, like, out there, so I had some people text me earlier, is there an actual character of the president on this game? Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but there isn't no president, like a sim version of any United States president that you see boarding the plane on and off. So, to all the viewers out there, I'm sorry that there isn't any way for that. It would be cool one day if they come up with a mod where you have like any president like Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden, Jimmy Carter, even the old presidents like Kennedy, Reagan, or Nixon, Johnson, and you see them just coming in and out of Air Force One. But so far as I know, I haven't seen any mods for that. They would be cool, but we'll wait and see. The only video game out there I know where there's an actual President of the United States mod and Air Force One is in GTA 5. So engines 3 started, now we're going to do engines 2 and 1. I'm actually going to do both at the same time because I really want to get this plane up in the air. I'm going to turn my parking brake off, and while the last 2 engines pump, I'm going to call the tower and let them know that I'm ready for clearance. So we're going to go to Kennedy Ground, channel 121.650, and request IFR clearance to Dorval.
Kennedy Ground, Air Force One IFR to Dorval, ready to copy.
Air Force One is cleared to Dorval Airport as filed. Take off runway 13 right, climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Departure frequency is 134.35 squawk 5701.
Air Force 1 cleared to Dorval Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 13 right, climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Departure on 134.35 squawk 5701.
Air Force 1 read back correct. Contact ground on 121.65.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the taxi light on to help me navigate from one park towards the runway and such. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to request pushback.
Kennedy ground, Air Force 1 requesting pushback.
Air Force 1 pushback request
And now
accepted.
I'm going to make sure that the parking brake is off, which is... And now that all my engines are on, I don't need to rely on the generator anymore because now the engines are fully powered and it can do its work. So I turn the generator off. So now any minute it's going to start tugging. And it's very important that your brakes are off because with your brakes on, the pushback tug cannot fully push your aircraft back. Now I'm going to request
Kennedy ground, Air Force 1 requesting
right,
pushback tug to steer the
it's in
aircraft to the right.
as like in a car. When you put your reverse
Air
on
Force
the
1,
right
your
direction,
request has been transmitted to the operator.
So now once it straightens out, I'm going to tell it to stop pushing it back, which is up
Kennedy
now.
ground, Air Force 1 requesting the end of pushback.
And
Air
now
Force 1 request to end pushback received.
And now I'm going to request the ground to give me assistance
Kennedy
to
ground,
go
Air
from
Force
where
1
I am
with
to
Sierra
the
ready to taxi IFR.
Air Force 1 taxi to and hold short at runway 13 right using taxiway Quebec 4 Papa Delta Papa Papa Foxtrot. Contact tower on 123.9 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 13 right via taxiway Quebec 4 Papa Delta Papa Papa Foxtrot,
And
Air
as you can
Force
see,
1.
there's blue triangles that lead to a path. That's my taxi indicator. So now that my taxi light's on, we're going to be good to go. I just apply a little bit of gas. And we start moving a little bit. I'm just going to start getting my plane to position. In the meantime, I'm going to set these lights on because it will come in handy if I need to put the plane on autopilot. Set my radar to plan mode and a radius of 20 degrees in a 747. Sometimes I have to brake here just to make sure I'm following the yellow lines. And like any airport, there's a speed limit of not more than 20 knots when you're navigating on the ground. So it is a very short navigation because as you can see, the runway is just right there by the river. So it's going to be a really quick takeoff. And a 747 is one of the heaviest jets in the world, so turning the plane left and right when you're on the ground, or even when you're flying in the air, is always a pain in the ass. As you can see in the distance of the Empire State Building, you can't really see that much because JFK Airport is in the Queens area of New York. LaGuardia Airport, which is the other major international airport in New York, that's in Brooklyn. And LaGuardia is closer to Manhattan than Kennedy is. So now I'm just going to brake because I have to turn on my runway indicator lights, turn off the taxi lights. And now we're going to slowly but surely turn the airplane left towards the runway. And I'm going to do a visual check. So this side, there's no planes coming into the sky, as well as there. So we should be getting
Kennedy
full
Tower
clearance to
Airport
take off
1 at runway 13 right, ready for takeoff IFR to Dorval.
Air Force 1 cleared for takeoff runway 13 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 13 right, Air Force 1.
anybody's curious as to which kind of graphics card I am using for Flight Sim 2020, at the current time, I am using the XFX Radeon RX 5500 XT 8GB graphics card. I am still waiting for my 5700 XT to ship, but as all you gamers out there know, right now there's a global shortage of graphics cards, and there's no way in hell I am giving a scalper the satisfaction of my hard-earned money to get a graphics card that's the retail price of not more than $400 or $500 and get them over $1,000 of my hard-earned money. I was contemplating getting the 6800 XT, but a lot of people have commented on Reddit saying that you won't see much of a performance difference between the 5700 and the 1600 XT, regardless of the fact the 1600 XT has 12 gigs of GDDR6 and the 5700 XT has 8 gigs. But for a game like Flight Simulator where you want to play in 4K, 8 gigs is more than enough. So now that I have my thing on RTO and I have it on the landing lights on, we're going to be ready for takeoff. And here we go. definitely happy to airport as well. As you can see, the distance in kilometers in the air from Albany to Manhattan is
Air Force One contact New York Center on 121.125
kilometers.
121.12.
So
Flight
if
Air
you're a
Force One.
Montrealer, obviously you guys do know that if you
New
were
York
to
Center
buy
Air
car
Force
from
One is
Montreal
climbing
to
through
New York, you're
9,400
going to be
feet
driving
for
for about 7
11,000 feet.
hours on the I-87. And a flight from
Air Force
Montreal
One
to
New York
City is
Center,
about
continue as
45 minutes
planned.
to an hour.
QNH tree 0 decimal light.
Right, that one part freezing altitude. And the further we get into a flight, we should be
Air Force One
about
contact Boston Center on 132 decimal tree.
25,000 feet.
Going to 132.3 Air Force One. Boston Center Air Force One is climbing through 10,400 feet for 11,000 feet.
Air Force One Boston Center, continue as planned. QNH tree 0 decimal 18.
So not that we are really altitude. Engines are maintaining to constant throttle level. So it's have to count with increase. Like altitude probably not yet, but
Boston Center Air Force One. Request flight level 210.
Air Force One climb and maintain flight level 200. Expect flight level 210.
okay. No problem. 20,000 feet I can do that.
Climb and maintain flight level 200. Expect flight level 210 Air Force One.
Air Force One contact Boston Center on 134 decimal tree.
134.3 Air Force One. Boston Center Air Force One is climbing through 12,900 feet for flight level 200.
Air Force One Boston Center, continue as planned. QNH tree 0 decimal 1 tree.
It's a beautiful day. Clear sky, barely any clouds. Perfect weather for this holiday. Same thing here in Montreal, even though this morning it was pretty cold. It's actually got up from minus 6 to 20 degrees. It looks like over here, if I look out my window, it looks a little bit cloudy, but I have to say the weather was not that bad, quite honestly. And actually, considering that Montreal's winters are brutal, I have to say that this winter's been a pretty amazing winter. There hasn't been any like major snowstorms or freezing rain compared to last year. And the city wasn't cheap at all in ice, the icing on roads. Look how beautiful Pleasant River is right there, folks. trying to maintain it. What I think we can try to keep at a pace of not more than about 1,500 feet per minute flying. And with that, we should get a steady climb and easier control to handle of the aircraft.
4.235437 miles northwest. Descend and maintain 7,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 2 approach by Charlie 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 transition. Clear to Charlie Charlie Charlie.
So I'm going to do watching right now that will there to my phone.
Climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 2 approach by Charlie 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 transition. Clear to Charlie 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 for flight 235.
What I'd like to do right here is put it on autopilot. Sometimes the engines like to go in full power here. So I have it on autopilot. It's not for my flight path.
Air Force One climb and maintain flight level 210.
So now we're at about 200 feet.
Climb and maintain flight level 210 Air Force One.
So now what I'm going to do is, since my autopilot is preset at 25,000 feet, I'm going to confirm with control that I
Boston Center,
cruise at
Air Force
25,000
One.
feet.
Request flight level 250.
Air Force One climb and maintain flight level 250.
Climb and maintain flight level 250 Air Force One.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my headphones on in a second. There's actually been a bug that Microsoft reported that they found with Windows 10 that if you have one or more audio inputs connected, it conflicts. But I'm gonna put my headphones on and make the noise reduced. That's better. Okay, much better. Oh yeah, 9-day difference now. Okay, what's with, okay, there we go. That's why. Altitude holder, perfect. Now my autopilot should be working fine. Okay, so now we're at 25,000 cruising altitude. We're just gonna let it go run and go smoothly. Alright, so clear weather over here because if we were in a storm or something, there'll be a cloud over here. It'll be somewhere between green and red, but the weather seems nice, especially that there's no broken clouds. So we're doing pretty well up in the sky, and in terms of time, we're actually making great time. As you can see in the distance right there, Albany is right around here. Alright, we're almost approaching the Albany airspace. And then in about another 15-20 minutes, we're going to be flying over Plattsburgh. Once we fly over Plattsburgh, that's when I'm going to start my descent and fly around St. Hubert, Quebec, and Longueuil. Make the turn around the refineries in the on the 40 East. Once I fly over Gare d'Anjou, I'm going to tilt and try to cruise over Henny Bourassa Boulevard and touch down on the runway at Dorval. Right, so we're just passing over Albany and heading towards Plattsburgh. And this is just the inside of the cockpit of the 747. Really love how the graphics make it look exactly like a real aircraft. Now with a 747, there are, I believe, 3 or 4 variants, and Air Force One, I believe, is a 747-200. This being the Intercontinental in the mod is the 747-800 variant, which I think is the 4th generation of a 747. Alright, even though I'm flying over Albany, the reason why I'm in Boston's airspace is because New York and Boston share close borders with each other, and after you fly over like the south shore of Quebec, you're with like even Plattsburgh and Vermont's airspace. It's considered to be part of the Boston airspace, since Boston, like I said, Boston, New York are not that far from Montreal when flying in the air. Now, if you were to drive to either one, Boston is about 5 hours by car, and of course New York, if you're to go down I-87, is about 7 hours. Good time, so Plattsburgh is going to be our last waypoint before we hit the approach. And normally when doing a landing approach in Montreal, it's always on the Lona transition, which is like how I do. You just make a loop over the refineries, fly over the Met, go around Henry Bourassa Boulevard West, and touch down until you hit around like Ville-Saint-Laurent, Côte-de-l'Est. Okay, so there. So I'm just gonna point my camera downwards. So there's Albany Airport, and Albany is the capital of New York State.
We will win this for Mother Russia.
So right here you got the I-87, just plopped right there, and as you can see, it's an actual representation of the interstate. Okay, so now the flight distance from Albany to Plattsburgh is about another 200 kilometers. In all, Montreal to New York City is about between 400 and 500 kilometers. And a key note that I've noticed while playing this game is that for every 500 kilometers you're flying in the air, 1 hour real lifetime passes. I'm gonna switch my camera now to the inside so we get a look of how I see and view the plane from the cockpit. So we should be there in a short while. Just look at the realism of this, with the gas and burning and on all four engines.
Mother Russia!
Alrighty, so we should be almost there. Found the flight path. So this line over here is obviously, like, besides my radar, it's my flight path indicators. So as you can see, this pink line is the flight path that I'm following from our takeoff point to our destination, and this white triangle here obviously is just an indicator of our aircraft, obviously. McDowell's iced coffees are absolutely amazing. The only thing I really wish we had here in Canada is Dunkin' Donuts. Like, to all my American viewers out there, you guys are so lucky that you have Dunkin' Donuts. Like, I know a lot of you guys. I think some places in the U.S. have Tim Hortons, but to all my American fans out there, I would rather off go get a donut and a coffee at Dunkin' any day of the week over Tim Hortons. Alrighty, so we're not that far from Plattsburgh. And then once we fly over Plattsburgh, that's when I'm gonna turn the autopilot off and switch to manual and start my gradual descent into Montreal. Sorry, I'm all quiet. I'm just responding to some text messages from some fans and some other followers. So Plattsburgh is just on the horizon there. And then once I fly over, then we're going to start descending. Probably start my descent to about 18,000 feet and then gradually make my way down to 4,000 feet when I'm on the final approach. And then, bam, go down to 2,500 and then from there, touchdown on runway 24. Alrighty, so we're almost there. As you can see, in this little, it's very, very, dim, but you can see Plattsburgh's airport and the entire town of Plattsburgh in the distance there. And this is Lake Champlain right here, and there's I-87 heading into Plattsburgh right there. So we're almost near Plattsburgh, and then I'm going to start doing my gradual descent. Alright, so as you can see, they're telling us to start descending, so I'm going to turn the autopilot off. And I'm going to start going down to 11,000 feet. So as you can see, we have to get down to 11,000 feet, but I'm trying to go as gradually as possible. Okay, I'm going to try and go a little bit faster. I'm going to lower my flaps to make it a little bit quicker. As you can see, when you lower your flaps, it lowers your speed and... Okay, that wasn't a good idea. Yeah, you know what, I'm not going to lower my flaps just yet because it just puts everything in haywire. Hey Ariana, glad you're following right now. I'm landing back over here in Montreal at the airport. So right now, I'm actually over Plattsburgh, and since Plattsburgh is not that far from here, I have to start my gradual descent because once I pass over Plattsburgh's airport, you're actually flying over the border. So once you're over the border, you have to fly over the South Shore and fly over where the refineries are on the 40 East. And then what I always do is, as I'm about to land at the airport, I always fly over the Gals and follow the Met. And once I'm following the Met going westbound, I just go a little bit towards the right, near the carry, and then I'm able to approach the runway easily. So I'm trying to get this as much as possible to 11,000 feet. Righty, going a little more downwards. Okay, I'm going to try and set the flaps a little bit. Okay, the ticking sound is because I am currently speeding a little bit, but it's normal. I'm compensating for faster speed to lower the altitude. So now what I'm going to do, since I'm in the approach, I put the approach light on. I go to my FMS panel here, and I click on arrivals, runway 24 right, change transition, hold on, 24 left, okay, my bad, 24 left, slow cut transition, okay, so we're going to be landing on the other side, where, near the West Island side, okay, yeah, it's being a little bit of a pain in the ass, okay. This is what happens sometimes with the 747 when you put your flaps on. It tends to go a little bit finicky. I'm trying to get it as low as possible. I have to be down to at least 4,000 feet. So Ariana, where should I fly to next? I'm probably gonna do some more flights today, depending if I'm not too busy. Okay, trying to get it down to 4,000. Oh wait, come on. 5 degrees. I'm getting you down to 10, I don't care. Right, down to 8,000, almost there at 4,000. Trying to get the speed down to about 250 knots or less when you're under 10,000 feet. So we're almost at 4,000 feet, and we just passed the border of New York and Saint Bernard de la Côte. As you can see right over here on this side, here's the border, folks. As it merges on, here's like the last stop before going to the border, where there's like the I think it's a Sunoco or a Shell gas station, like right before you go to the border if you're heading back to Montreal. And here's the customs, as you can see. And Park Safari is actually somewhere around here. because Park Safari is actually about 5-10 minutes away from the border. And you can see in the far distance there's the St. Lawrence River. Chateauguay is around here, and Longueuil is around here, like mostly like the Brossard area. I'm gonna start putting on my landing lights.
We will win this for Mother Russia!
And I am gonna put the auto brake to level 2 because the runway is pretty long, so if the runway was short, then I have to put the auto brake to its full max, especially with a huge plane like this one. But Dorval's runway is pretty long, so level 2 auto brakes are sufficient. Once I get down to about 4,000 feet, I'm gonna deploy the landing gear. Almost there. Almost home, folks. Okay, down to almost 6,000 feet. Trying to keep us steady as possible. Okay, down to about almost 5,000 feet. Okay, there's Chateauguay and the part of Brossard over there, and the airport's right over there, but like I said, in order to make the approach, we have to do a loop around the refineries and the Met. So once I get down to about 4,000 feet, I'm going to put the landing gear on. Oh my god, it's a pain in the ass flying the 747 sometimes. Okay, we're almost at 4,000. I'm going to start putting the landing gear on. There we go. Landing gear is deployed. So, in about another 10-15 minutes, we're going to be touching down on the runway at the airport. Now, the goal here is just to keep the plane nice and steady at about 4,000 feet. as I fly over the island of Montreal. So I'm heading not far from the east end, like around Sherbrooke East, near Anjou and stuff like that. Alright, so there is the Highway 15 and the Highway 10. Like I said, this right here is Shadowgate. And right around here is here's Brassard, because actually no, wait, Shadowgate, sorry, it's over there. This, I think it's I think it's not, I think it's Salaberry or something, I forget, or no, I think it's, no, not Bond, I forgot the area of this, I think it's St. Constant or something, I forget. Well, right around here there's Mercier Bridge, and as you can see right here, it's not really rendered well, but I'm going to go a little bit lower and show you. This is Champlain Bridge and Nuns Island over here. And Quartier d'Estrant is right here in the distance. And there's downtown, Mont Royal, and the airport's right around here. And here's the St. Lawrence River, guys. And that right there is Victoria Bridge. And the Jacques Cartier is right over here. As you can see, there's Sainte Hélène and La Ronde and the casino in the distance. And then if you go a little bit more eastbound, there's that bridge that leads to the La Fontaine Tunnel. I'm going to try and descend a little bit lower so I give you a good view. So there we go. Now you can get a better look. Here's the Champlain Bridge and d'Estrant right over there. That's Victoria Bridge right there. I know it's not rendered well, but how the realism comes to play is that Microsoft uses, I believe they use Google Maps to render the realization of each city in the game. So there you have downtown. The Bell Center's right around here, actually. Yeah, right there. I'm going to try and lower a little bit so you don't really see well, but this right here is the Bell Center. And there's the casino in the distance. I'm going to try to lower it. Yeah, for some reason it's not giving me a good rendering, but maybe it's because I'm still a little bit high in the air or something. But yes, the casino is around there somewhere. Just for some weird reason, I'm not getting a good view of it. Anywho, it's... Oh, here it is. There we go. It's rendered. This is the Jean Doré Beach. That's usually open in the summertime. Here's Longueuil Metro and Champlain College. Here's La Ronde. The Biosphere. Jacques Cartier Bridge. Boulevard Taschereau. Roland-Tavien Boulevard in the distance. And this is the entranceway to the La Fontaine Tunnel. And right here, as you can see, there's Olympic Stadium, Sapporo Stadium, and St. Leonard is right around here in RDP in the distance there. And this is obviously the old port. So like I said, I have to make a loop around the refineries if I want to get into a good pattern towards the runway. So as you can see, like, I'm actually going to be flying right over the Big O. And one thing I love about Flight Simulator is that there's automatic landing assistance. So once I hit the pattern, as you're going to see here, it's going to automatically adjust my speed and my my flaps and altitude to help me make a smoother landing. As I told you, so now we have to start lowering our speed a little bit. Now what I'm trying to do here is try to get the Air Force One into these yellow squares, rectangles here. Landing in general is always a lot more difficult than taking off. Taking off is just simple. You just navigate from the terminal to the runway. Bam! You set the throttle on full blast and you move upwards. But landing is always very complicated. So we're almost there. There we go, 2,500 feet. And I'm trying to position myself right over the Met and Côte de Liesse autoroute, also known as the 520. So now I'm trying to level myself. And as I approach closer and closer to the runway, I set my flaps a little bit lower. And now Dorval Airport gave me the clearance. So here we are, we're on the Met, and here is L'Acadie and... no, this is Côte de Liesse, sorry. And this, I think, is what, Highway 13 or something. So now I'm going to start setting my flaps all the way down to 30. And I'm going to try to position Air Force One as smoothly as possible. Then again, like I told you folks, landing is extremely hard. You really have to maintain a good balance. So what I'm trying to do is try to shift the joystick I'm using as fast as possible because I want to keep it in center. So that's why I'm moving left and right as much as possible. There we go. There's the nose pitch. Perfect. We should be getting a smooth landing, probably a little bit harder. Okay. I'm at about 1,000 feet. We're doing very well so far. This is Highway 13 right here. And there's runway 24 left. This runway is a lot more visible as you are, let's say you're heading towards Dorval or the airport itself on Côte de Liesse. Runway 24 right is a lot more visible if you're on the Highway 13. 500 feet. Oh, this is going to be a beautiful landing. I'm going to activate my spoilers to help me land faster. And there we go. 300 feet, 200, 100 feet, 50, 40, 30. And touchdown, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Now that my flaps are going to be going up, I am now going to taxi to the terminal, and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing now. So now that my landing lights are on, I turn this off, and I'm going to turn the generator on, because now we're on the ground, and it's very crucial we do so. So I'm going to put my parking brake off. Spoilers are back up. And I'm just going to wait a second or so for the generator to turn on. But as I'm doing that, I could still accelerate a little bit. Okay. Sometimes what I notice when I'm landing with a 747 is that my joystick tends to be a little bit glitchy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my autopilot on. And my co-pilot is going to guide me off the runway. So here's, folks, this is Dorval Airport. As you can see, you have the Air Transat hangars, Air Inuit as well. And there's the hangar for Air Canada as well as Air Canada headquarters. So now Air Force One's going to make its way off the runway and onto the taxiway. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you enjoyed this flight. I'm going to be doing some more flights later on this evening. Probably I'm going to be doing a flight maybe to Florida, or maybe do an international flight to London Heathrow, or maybe even Paris or Rome. So we're going to just wait for Air Force One to get itself off the runway. look how beautiful the realism is, folks. I am so in love with this game. Like, kudos to Microsoft for the amount of time and effort it took them to design this game. So, probably we're going to be turning on this taxiway because, as you can see, the airport is right there. So, I think my co-pilot, she's going to be turning the aircraft on towards the right on the last taxiway. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put on my taxi light and make it simpler. Yeah, we're going to get out, don't worry. I know, it does that all the time, but it's only normal because, in case of a plane coming in or out, not to delay. So here's some more parking spots. Here's Air Canada's major hangar and its headquarters as well. Transat is on runway 24 right, just on the other side there, the runway. This small runway here, which is runway 28 on this side and runway 10 on the other, this is mostly used for small aircraft when they take off or land. I barely use this runway when I'm taking off or landing. It's always these two, the 24 left or right on that end, and on this end on each side is runway 6 left and right. Alright, we're going to be turning right here. Yeah, there we go. She's turning my aircraft for me off the runway. So there we go, we're making our way slowly off the runway there. And we're off the runway, folks. So now we're going to contact the ground to help navigate us to a parking spot. So we change our air traffic channel from 119.300 to 121.000. So now I just click on there, and I'm going to show you guys how we go park the aircraft. If it'll allow me, I don't think so. I think it's preset, which is pretty strange, but I think it's because the fact that my co-pilot is going, so she's probably, yeah. We're gonna be parking at the gate 36. It's already predetermined because gate 36 is always used for heavy jets like the Boeing. So because it's all computerized now, it already knows exactly where to park. Okay, this is a little bit weird. Why are we stopping here? Okay. A little bit okay, oh well. I'm gonna end the live stream over here, just turn off the engines. And there, mission complete. Alright folks, so that's all for now. Again, my name is Gabriel. I thank you so much for following my live stream, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace out folks, bye bye.